Hyun is back, and within the first few seconds of his appearance on screen, it is immediately clear that this is not a familiar return. Gone is the polished, refined image audiences have associated with him for years. In Made in Korea, Hyun enters the frame carrying a heavier presence, quieter but far more intense, as if shaped by pressure rather than presentation. His gaze does not seek approval. It does not explain itself. There is a stillness to it that feels deliberate, almost confrontational, as though the character no longer needs to be understood to survive. This alone is enough to make viewers pause. Before any story is explained, before any context is given, the message is already clear. This version of Hyun exists in a different emotional space. What holds attention is not shock, but contrast. Hyun is instantly recognizable, yet fundamentally altered. He feels restrained, grounded, and less concerned with being liked. The familiar charm has been replaced by something heavier, something earned. It is the presence of a man who has made difficult choices and carries their consequences with him. This change reveals itself not through a single dramatic moment, but through accumulation. The way he stands, the way he moves, the way he occupies silence. Nothing is wasted. There are no unnecessary gestures, no excess emotion. Each movement has weight, as if shaped by experience rather than performance. He does not announce his transformation. He allows it to be observed. Compared to the roles that once defined his career, upright officers, idealized leaders, men of composure and control, this character feels stripped of certainty. In those earlier performances, Hyun often represented stability or aspiration. Here, he represents survival. This is not a man positioned above his circumstances, but one pressed directly against them. What makes this shift compelling is that it does not feel calculated for attention. There is no sense of a dramatic reinvention designed to dominate headlines. Instead, it feels like the natural result of a long period of reflection. Hyun does not appear to be proving that he can still command the screen. He appears to be testing how far he can go beyond what is expected. Before Made in Korea was announced, Hyun spent a notable stretch of time away from constant public visibility. He did not flood the industry with consecutive projects or maintain a continuous media presence. For an actor at his level, such quietness inevitably invites speculation. Would he return with something familiar, something safe, something guaranteed to succeed? Or would he take a risk when there was no longer any obligation to do so? The answer comes not through statements or interviews, but through image and intent. Hyun return does not resemble an effort to preserve momentum. It resembles a decision to redirect it. There is no attempt to reassure audiences that he is unchanged. Instead, he seems to be acknowledging that remaining the same is no longer an option. At this stage in his career, Hyun has little left to prove. His reputation is established, his past successes secure. Yet Made in Korea suggests that comfort is not his priority. The role signals a willingness to step into territory that is less flattering, less predictable, and more demanding, both physically and emotionally. That commitment is visible in his physical presence. His appearance does not feel designed for admiration. It feels functional, grounded in the reality of the character's world. This is a body shaped by endurance rather than display, by necessity rather than aesthetics. It communicates credibility before a single line of dialogue is spoken. There is no sense of exaggeration here. Hyun does not rely on external devices to sell hardship. His posture, his stillness, his controlled reactions convey a character accustomed to pressure. The transformation feels internal first, external second. It is not a performance layered on top of an unchanged core. It is a shift that seems to originate from within. This level of preparation reflects a different phase of professionalism. Hyun is no longer navigating his career by volume or visibility. Instead, he appears focused on precision, choosing roles that require restraint, patience, and a deep understanding of character. It is a quieter ambition, but a more demanding one. That is why his return feels significant beyond the surface. It is not simply that he looks different, it is that his priorities feel different. He is no longer positioned as a symbol of aspiration, but as a conduit for more complex, uncomfortable stories. This choice carries risk, but also potential for reinvention. Rather than leaning into nostalgia, Hyun seems determined to move forward. He does not revisit past rules or echo familiar dynamics. He resists the temptation to reassure viewers with comfort. Instead, he challenges them to follow him into unfamiliar territory. That challenge is what keeps attention fixed. In Made in Korea, the environment surrounding Hyun is just as unforgiving as the character he portrays. Set in 1970s Korea, the series unfolds within a society defined by instability, tension, and unresolved conflict. Power is unevenly distributed, and moral clarity is rare. This is not a backdrop that allows for simple heroism. Within this world, Hyun character is not elevated above circumstance. He is entangled within it. He is forced to respond, adapt, and endure. The narrative does not grant him the privilege of certainty. Every decision carries consequence, and every silence carries meaning. The storytelling reflects this restraint. Action is not stylized for spectacle. Confrontations unfold with weight and realism, emphasizing consequence over excitement. Violence, when present, feels heavy rather than theatrical. Silence often speaks louder than dialogue. The tone is deliberate, grounded, and unyielding. This approach suits Hyun current trajectory. His performance does not compete with the setting. It absorbs it. He becomes a focal point not by dominating scenes, but by anchoring them. His restraint allows the tension of the environment to breathe, creating a sense of authenticity that is difficult to fabricate. In this context, Hyun does not need to overperform. His experience allows him to communicate conflict through subtle shifts rather than dramatic gestures. A pause, a glance, a slight hesitation. These moments carry as much narrative weight as overt action. It is the kind of performance that demands attention rather than demanding praise. The result is a character who feels lived in. Not idealized, not romanticized, but believable. This believability is what makes Made in Korea an effective platform for Hyun evolution. It does not showcase him as an icon. It places him within a system that tests his limits. Public response to his return reflects this shift. The conversation surrounding Made in Korea has focused less on nostalgia and more on curiosity. Viewers are not asking whether Hyun can still lead a drama. They are asking what kind of stories he is choosing to tell now. This distinction matters. It suggests that his audience is evolving alongside him. Rather than seeking comfort and familiarity, many viewers appear intrigued by the uncertainty of his direction. The unfamiliarity becomes the draw. Of course, such a choice invites scrutiny. Projects rooted in historical and social tension often face higher expectations. They demand consistency, depth, and discipline. But they also offer space for meaningful growth. Made in Korea represents that space. Seen as a whole, Hyunbin's return does not resemble a short-term strategy. It feels intentional, measured, and aligned with a longer arc. Every element, the role, the setting, the tone, points toward a deliberate redefinition rather than a temporary departure. This is why audiences stay engaged, not simply to see how the story unfolds, but to witness how Hyunbin continues to redefine his place within it. His return is not framed as a comeback, but as a progression. At this point, Made in Korea is more than a new project. It is a marker of transition. It signals that Hyunbin is no longer interested in maintaining an image. He is interested in expanding it, even if that expansion comes with discomfort. And that discomfort is precisely what makes this moment compelling. Viewers are not watching a star repeat himself. They are watching an actor move forward, carrying the weight of his past while refusing to be defined by it.